The other thing I see as a problem here, and I don't know how you feel about this, but when I look at that dock widget thing, I'm like, I loved it until they explained it. I did. I loved it until they explained it. I'm like, I hate to admit it, but this thing kind of looks like it could be useful. It's obviously not cosmetically designed in such a way that it's going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it could be very useful. But then they explained what it really is, and this is basically your one-stop launch-all for everything. Right now, there aren't a lot of applications for Phone 7. What if that changes? What if people start to make Phone 7 applications and you have all these different widgets here, and you have this Facebook and this Facebook and this thing and this Twitter and this Twitter and that Twitter and this restaurant app and this thing, etc. You have 8 tiles per screen, and you have to manually grab them and drag them and organize them. I see this becoming cumbersome very, very, very quickly.
How many screens did they get?
It just goes on and on and on and on and on as far as we can tell. But imagine if you actually start putting as many things on a Windows Phone 7 as you do on an iPhone or Android. Which they're not available right now, but Microsoft's trying to get people to develop them. So imagine they succeed and you get as robust a set of apps as you do on iPhone or Android. Can you imagine the amount of time you're going to spend on your quick in and out phone going through set of 8, 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 and then, oh crap, I want this one down here all the way up there. Moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. Now I got it there. Okay, now I'm going to delete this one. Ooh, now I got a hole here for that one that's way down there. It's like, I see this being a problem. It isn't a problem now, but I see going forward this being a problem. It's a good idea. It's an interesting idea, but I already see a problem with it. I do. And I don't think Microsoft really has an appreciation for the amount of time that is going to be. It's one of those. It's simple. It's very simple, and simple's not necessarily bad, but it's like.
Is the phone going to have folders? Like you could have one of the 8 things be a folder, and you could go into it and see,
It doesn't right now. It's like the exception to that is obviously the camera app. Like you go in there and it's like you have like a folder-like thing. It's not. But for right now, each individual thing is its individual thing, and you go into it and that's its thing. But there isn't like a folder at this point. That would almost have to be necessary. Like it's like this folder is all of these things, but then that's going away from this widgety thing that they seem to want to go with. So that's.
And they can't do both. Android does both.
Well, that's one of the things I love about Android. I like the fact that I have a desktop and I have a menu. It's like it's one of those things that just works. For that UI, it wouldn't work in any other form factor. It works for that form factor. It's like I said, it isn't a problem now. And who knows? You may never need any more apps for a Phone 7. Maybe there'll never be any apps for it. Maybe nobody will ever make anything for it, in which case the stock set, you only go through a few screens, so it's not that bad.
You hear about how on the Windows 7 ad, it featured the Angry Birds logo on it, and the developer for Angry Birds came out and he says, whoa, I'm not committed to developing for Windows 7 yet. So they put an advertisement of a game that's the developer doesn't even know if he's going to develop for it yet.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. No, I hadn't heard about that. The other thing I find hysterical here is that we seem to be having the battle of the two dinosaurs in the mobile market on the same carrier. And that is the carrier that is unilaterally rejecting Android is embracing Phone 7. I just kind of have to snicker at that. It's like, I don't know what else to say there.
Captivate.
Say that again?
AT&T you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
They have the Captivate.
Name me one Android device on AT&T that doesn't have the ability to run third-party apps locked out and is running a version 2 point something of Android.
Well, the Captivate is 2.1 going to 2.2.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if about the third-party thing, but I mean, it's one of the things that I was considering getting if I didn't switch to Verizon recently.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at the Captivate.
All I was before the Captivate, there was really nothing that amazing, but the Captivate's supposed to be the first really good one going there.
Okay, so AT&T may have finally got their act together. Now all they have to do is get rid of the data caps.
Or it's only one phone, so I wouldn't really say act together.
Yeah, well, no, see, that's the thing. It's like Verizon has how many phones at this point? T-Mobile has how many phones at this point? Sprint has one with several others on the way. It's like AT&T is becoming unanimous with the carrier that doesn't like Android. It's like, if you want an Android device, go to anybody but AT&T. It's like, but yet they're embracing Phone 7 arms open. It's like, which is like, okay, that's weird. That's like, so you want it to be Microsoft versus Apple. Interesting. How traditional of you. It's like, and the other thing there that's going to be a little weird, it's the number one thing everyone I've talked to is looking forward here is like, well, we'll finally find out whether or not the iPhone comes to other carriers or not if all the reception issues with iPhones are the AT&T network or the iPhone. Because we're going to have all these Windows Phone 7 devices that are arguably comparable devices, and do they have reception issues or don't they? It'll be interesting. I don't know if that's a big thing. They've obviously got a good set of people making them. You know, Samsung, Dell, HTC, and Life's good. You know, pretty much the only one they're missing is Motorola. But they're suing Motorola, so I don't expect Motorola to make a Phone 7 phone anytime soon. Like, you're not going to use somebody's OS when they're suing you over using their competition. Yeah, they're all about the same price. I guess the only other thing to go into here, aside from the god-awful logo, always delightful. What do you think about the fact that Microsoft is clearly having manufacturers do targeted? Like, this is our media phone. This is our business phone. This is our generalist phone.
Having different... What do you mean?
Like the three phones at launch. You know, one of them is very much a, hey, look, this is my I'm a 14-year-old kid at play, or I'm pretending I'm one. I mean, the phone has Dolby Sound, for crying out loud. Why do I need Dolby Sound on a cell phone? I'm just saying. That's it's like, and then it's like, but rather than create a general all-purpose device, which is what some of the Android devices are becoming, and in some ways I would argue the iPhone is too, they're creating specialized ones. Like, this is the play phone. You know, I want to play. I'm all about media. This is the work phone. I have to get work done. I must do my office documents and my spreadsheets and my thingamabob phones. And then here's my, I'm intimidated by technology phone, and I want a big screen. It's like, it seems like such an archaic approach to me. What are your 2 cents on that?
I'm fine with it. I mean, it's... I'm sure all of them can do everything that the others can do. It's just they're specialized to do one thing, which I don't have a problem with. If it's actually restricting you from doing the other stuff, then I don't think that they're going to do that. But they could surprise me. But if it's just that each phone's specialized to do one thing, and it just isn't as good as the other stuff, I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with specialist sizes.
I don't think they're doing that. I think they all largely are going to do the same thing. It seems to have good speech recognition in it, and things like that. So.
As long as all they're saying is that this device is superior for this, but the others can do it, they're just not going to be the best experience. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Anything else to really chime in on that, or?
On that, no.
And we're at an hour. Do we want to go into anything else, or do we just kind of want to tail off?
Well, we have like more than half of the whole episode left.
Yeah, but it's like some of this stuff was like not time sensitive, like this, and I'm not sure some of this on. I mean, I would have liked to go into the fact that the Senate into CALM, because that's just such an interesting law, or the fact that Google is cloning what Germany has been able to do for years, and Microsoft is cloning what Google's been doing. But that's stuff we can get into next week, because it's not like it's really time sensitive stuff.